Hey YouTube, this is Oasis Rising, and I picked up the White Dwarf for the new High Elf release, and I don't usually get this, so it's kind of a one-off shot, and I couldn't resist it because the game store had it while I was ordering my new things, and so I thought I'd check it out. So we have it featuring the lovely Phoenix, Flaming Phoenix. Let's see. And I haven't really looked through this too closely. So we have basically featured in the new release section all of the new High Elf stuff. Then a battle report with the High Elf stuff. And let's see. A little bit about the design of the new High Elves, as well as a bunch of painting tutorials on the High Elves. No masterclass, or what is it called? The advanced painting stuff. There's no advanced painting stuff on the High Elves, I don't think so. So here's a nice picture of all this stuff. And I'm kind of annoyed that they didn't take some care and fill in the gaps there for these models. I think that would have been nice to see. And then we have the lovely fold out. So the lore is that the Phoenix, when it gets older, it cools off and becomes the Frostheart Phoenix, and then there's a special character for the Phoenix that is the mount for Kaldor, I think. For Caradrin. So you can make the Flaming Phoenix and the Flame Spire Phoenix. Sorry, the Frostheart Phoenix, or the special mount Ashtari. So that is nice. So the kit comes with basically, yeah, like I said, components to make all three of these, but you only get one set of main wing parts and body part. But you get different heads, different back parts, and different special wing components and things. So I suppose if you wanted to get tricksy, you could do some fancy stuff to get around that. But I won't go into that here because that's kind of like stealing. The other cool thing is that you get a mount choice, or basically you can have your noble on foot, which is cool. That's really nice that you can have that option to put him on foot, because I don't think many of the other mounts gave that, though I guess I haven't really gotten very many kits for that, the mounts. And then we have the Sky Cutter. This is the flying chariot. These are interesting. I kind of like it, but I'm not really sure yet. After doing the Hobbit Great Eagles, these feel very stiff and angular. So maybe I'm not too keen on the pose of the eagle, but these are kind of cool, like little sailboats. And I really like this guy, standing on the rock like that. He's a pretty badass. I think he's going to be like a battle standard bearer. But there were some questions about how is the bird not going to be hit by this bolt thrower thing. But there's this funky mount there. And then we have Shadow Warriors. These are pretty cool. In the Shadow Warriors box, you can also make the Maiden Guard. So in the list that I showed in my last video, the Maiden Guard is listed under the Shadow Warriors box. So the Shadow Warriors showed up under Special and Rare, so I'm not sure which is Special and which is Rare. I haven't read through this quite yet, so I'm not sure. And then we have the single models, the Loremaster. So he's supposed to be like a battle mage with a great weapon, like with the Swordmasters. And I wonder if he will actually be a Loremaster and know all of the high magic. Because I don't think we actually have a character that can do that in the old release. Then we have the Handmaiden of the Everqueen, which is my favorite model so far in this grouping, because she is pretty badass. Yeah, definitely my favorite of the bunch. This one's close second. And then definitely this one is a close third. Maybe this one takes second. And then we have Alario, the Radiant. Not sure what sort of a role she will play. Will she be a sorceress? So she is going to be a mage. Then we have the battle magic cards. Ooh, do we have to look at? It's printed a little too small to actually read the text on there, so we can't get any kind of hint on that, except we know we have Drain Magic again, and Soul Quench. So those are two signature spells. Can you even see that? And then we have Apothis and Hand of Glory. Oh, you can barely see it. And the Shield of Sapphire is a lore attribute, so that's nice. The high magic definitely needed an update to get those lore attributes and signature spells, because we didn't have that before. Oh yeah, so what did I pick up? I picked up a Phoenix set, a Battle Magic card set, the 3 characters, as well as a set, a box of Shadow Warrior / Sisters of Avalor. Or Handmaidens. They're called 2 different things, I guess. I don't know. So I want to build up at least one of each of these, just one model at least, and paint them up and see how they look, and then before I kind of delve into the rules. And yeah, as well as the book. I did not get the Heraldry book because wasn't quite in the budget, but maybe for another present to myself. And then it kind of goes over the book itself and what you might see in there. And then here's the uniforms and heraldry book, which is neat, but again, I'll have to wait on that. And then we get into some Lord of the Rings stuff, Black Library stuff. There's a couple new, this is an omnibus release of some of the other novels, and then there's a couple new novels. I haven't actually read any of these. Maybe those are going to be worth picking up later down the road. Some Ford World stuff, full release listings, 40K stuff. And this is the battle report. Have to read through that. Versus ogres. I think it ends up in a draw, which isn't very exciting. They should at least make the High Elves win for the release, get people excited. More 40K stuff. And then talking about dragons. Hey, that's a funny picture. More dragons. That's a sweet illustration. I like that. More dragons. Does anyone else think this dragon looks kind of weird? Like his lower jaw is way too big. Maybe that's just me. Bashing Staff, Titans, and then like how to paint. So this is the how to paint the Phoenix, the Flamespire Phoenix. It's pretty basic. I always find it hard to follow these sorts of tutorials, like the picture-based ones, because, yeah, you see a difference, but don't really see exactly what was done, or the consistency of the paint, or how they controlled the brush to get that. Like you can't really see too much of a difference between these two. So what do they do? I mean, this one maybe looks a little brighter, but in my opinion, these are very hard to follow. I prefer YouTube videos myself. That's kind of how I learned everything, from YouTube videos. And then the Sisters of Averlord, painting the blue bow and the gems, and the hair. Different shields. They're kind of putting more of an emphasis on the different regions for the High Elves. So that's kind of neat. More like the, I think Bretonia has more of that sort of styling. And I think the other armies could certainly benefit from that. The blue feathers are kind of weird. It's kind of an exaggeration of the bluish dark feathers that you get with like a golden eagle. And then these are just kind of other generic, very generic paint schemes for these models. Frostfire Phoenix. You know, it's funny, these Phoenixi are not, I don't think they're the same ones that are shown here. Maybe they are. It's hard to tell. I feel like this one's a nicer paint job. Yeah, this one's definitely a nicer paint job than this one. And then, oh, this is nice for any army that has horses, kind of just generic paint schemes for different colored horses. If you want to do gray horses with speckles, or Appaloosa, or bay color, different color schemes for all these different horses. This is pretty nice. So if you're interested in painting horses and want something like that, that's pretty cool. And then I think that's kind of it. Oh, they talk about some of the design stuff too. So that's kind of the interviews with the folks who designed it. And that's it. Thanks for watching.